Welcome to the Sold Too Early Sports Card Podcast. Some 11-year-old is about to sit next to Livy Dunn at a Pirates game. It's all downhill from here. That's Kai. I identify as that 11-year-old. Welcome back to the podcast. Kai, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It was funny. We were talking about that. Do you have a guess on what that card would sell for at auction right now?
So, for everyone who is not aware, and this is why you prep accordingly, because we'll start the episode with this part, the one-of-one Paul Skenes MLB Debut Logo Patch auto was hit by an 11-year-old kid in LA, I guess earlier today, yesterday, whatever it is. I don't know. I have no idea what this is actually worth. According to what the Pirates were offering, and this still stands, the 11-year-old would theoretically get 2 Pirates tickets behind home plate for the next 30 years, a meet and greet with Paul Skenes, 2 autographed jerseys, a softball game for 30 at PNC Park, which is cool, with coaching for Pirates alumni, awesome. Private tour of the city, and a Pirates game suite with Livy Dunn, which, you know, that's like incredible value. I think you were doing the math behind this too. Theoretically, if you were to sell your tickets for $50 for 30 years behind home plate, you would net what, $250,000?
Yeah, if you bought the card for $250K, you would break even if you sold every ticket for $50.
So theoretically, $50 here, $50 there, or 75, 100, so on and so forth. I think if that was an offer that could be done, you would find someone who could buy those tickets every single day, which might be difficult. But on one hand, I do not see Paul Skenes being a Pirate forever. I don't see Paul Skenes being a Pirate for more than 5 years. Like, I could easily see him being traded with 1 year, 2 years left on his contract, because the Pirates are probably going to be mediocre for the vast majority of his time there. And they're going to want to, maximize their value. Could they sign him to an extension? Of course. But Bob Nutting is a terrible owner. And I think the most expensive contract they ever gave out internally was Brian Roberts, and externally was Francisco Liriano or something like that.
Did McCutchen ever get a deal?
I don't think McCutchen... Well, Brian McCann got paid more because, inflation of baseball contracts, so...
What I find interesting is, I don't think they mention anywhere if the offer or whatever is available to the person who buys it.
I don't know. I mean, the offer still stands, so theoretically, it's an open offer. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I can imagine Ken Golden's flying to LA right now, going to put out some wildfires just to go meet this little kid. So, it doesn't really shock me. I think this goes for more than $250,000.
I think so too. I think just off the sheer fact that there's probably someone with $250K they don't need, thinking that they can buy the card in exchange for those tickets, and they, with inflation, they would profit over 30 years, and they wouldn't care about the money anyways.
It's my hope for this card is a Pittsburgh Pirates superfan buys this and cashes in on the deal.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I think it has a good chance of happening. Although I think there's going to be a fat bidding war for this. This might be the most talked about auction we've seen in a really long time.
I don't know if it's the most talked about auction we've seen in a long time, because there's been
well, it's not the biggest card, but it's the most interesting one. There's so many ways you can turn in the card if you win. You can keep the card and do whatever. There'll be a story about if they turn it in. They'll get a video of going to the game and stuff. There's just so many aspects to it that's going to make it interesting to follow.
Yeah, I truly am hoping that a collector ends up getting this, or a fan, I should say, of the Pirates gets this. I think that'd be very cool. I would love, if this was something the Yankees had for a player one day.
What happens if Paul Skenes just buys it?
It's entirely possible that could happen, by the way. Livy Dunn could buy it. She's worth millions of dollars.
What happens in that case?
You just laugh.
It's just the whole offer is kind of pointless.
It's not a small amount of money to them, but she's worth multi-millions. Yeah. She's probably worth more than him right now, because he's only getting almost
I would think contract.
So I don't think he really cashed in on NIL deals. So I don't know. I'm very curious to see what happens there. One thing that I will say, and this is a good segue into the next part of what I want to talk about, I think this is the right tab, is
Hope
this
so.
pitcher. This pitcher should have a debut patch that sells for,
Oh,
in
jeez.
my opinion, possibly more. And it's Roki Sasaki. He
All
went
right,
to the
translate
Dodgers.
all that right now by heart.
Using the power of Instagram, I can, because he signed a minor league contract with the Dodgers. Yeah, I think there is a very realistic chance that Roki's MLB debut batch will outsell Roki, or will outsell Paul Skenes.
You're gonna sell him now?
I'm going to sell him.
That's
Yes,
gotta be
I do
racist.
think. I do think. Thank you. I do think there's a real possibility that he outsells Paul Skenes just based on the international appeal.
I mean, I think it also just comes down to like if he is good in the MLB like he was in Japan.
I think he'll do okay this year. I don't think he'll meet the expectations that people will put on him. I think it's entirely possible the first 2 or 3 months of the year, he's kind of okay. Like has like a 4 ERA or so.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, if he did
going-
what Yamamoto did this year, like, is that a positive or negative? Like,
Yamamoto got hurt, but Yamamoto had about a 3.5 ERA, I believe. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Roki gets hurt too. I mean, he's never pitched this long of a season, right?
that is the issue. So the main issue with Roki has always been durability, and that his body just has not been able to hold up at this point in time. I believe the most innings he's pitched in a professional season was about 125, 130. So even Yamamoto, he pitched in 18 games, 90 innings, 3 ERA. It's really, really good. Don't forget, this guy was the Cy Young winner, whatever the official name was called in Japan, for the past 2 years before coming over, and was a number 2, number 3 pitcher in his first year, adjusting to a new baseball, new culture, new team, new teammates, new everything. I think it's entirely possible that Roki struggles a little bit in April and May. I think there'll be a turning point from a June or July like all-star game period, and he turns into a top 10, top 15 pitcher in baseball for the rest of the year. Now, it's also entirely possible in that same vein he gets hurt, but the Dodgers have 12 starting pitchers anyway, and it doesn't matter. I could easily see them like tempering his expectations, putting him on an innings limit, and I would not be shocked if Roki only throws about 100 to 150 innings at first year.
Well, he's also younger than Yamamoto, right?
Roki is about to turn 24. Okay, I don't know when he was born in 2001. When
Yamamoto is what, 27?
He's 25. November 3rd. So he's going to pitch this entire year.
So he's
At
2
age
years
20.
younger.
Yeah, Yamamoto is 25, 26. Yet Roki just turned 23.
Yeah, so I mean, if it takes him a year or two to be able to pitch a whole season, it's really not the end of the world because he'll still have like 3 years left on his deal after that.
I think it's like a 5 or 6 year deal based on like kind of
So
how things get.
5 years. I mean, first year or two might have some growing pains, but I would think by that third year he'll be able to go a full season.
Well, that is the main point. Talent wise, Roki is as good of a pitcher in the MLB. Like talent wise, there's no question. At 20 years old, he pitched a 19K perfect game and followed it up with 8 more perfect innings. The longest stretch of strikeouts in the MPB history is Roki doing that during his perfect game. So if you're talking about an absolute peak for a pitcher right now, that's the peak. 19 inning perfect game followed by 8 more perfect innings is as high of potential of any player in baseball. Now, is it possible for him to reach that again? Yes, but there's going to be some question marks there. But I would expect him to probably make like 15 to 25 starts, a 3.5 to 4 ERA, 125 innings, and look better as time goes on. It would not shock me if the Dodgers somehow have a perfect, healthy rotation, which is already shocking. But like, if at that point, and we're in October, he's pitching out of the bullpen because, hey, we're going to just leave him for a couple innings here and just, let him throw 102 out of the bullpen, like in the World Series or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I keep even forgetting that Ohtani could pitch this year. Like, I keep forgetting that's even a thing.
I think Roki and Ohtani will throw about the same innings. I truly believe we're one more pitching injury away with Ohtani from him just being done as a pitcher.
Yeah.
I could see him becoming a closer for someone. I think
What I was going to say, I don't know why he wouldn't just turn to being a reliever.
I think that makes logical sense. Like, it's just like you saw what he could do with just the bat, focusing just on hitting. 50-50 is incredible. It's never been done before in baseball history. What do you want to sacrifice from him in order to get him to pitch 100 innings? If you can still get 90% of him as focusing on a hitter, and you let him throw out of the bullpen 40, 50 innings a year, and he's good at it, not great, but good, then what's it worth? And the answer is I don't really know yet, but I think you give him one more chance to start. You cannot rely on him as a pitcher at this moment in time, and you don't have to, because talent-wise, he might be the number 1 or number 2 pitcher in that rotation, but in reality, he might be the 4th or 5th or 6th starter, which is insane.
What do you think the first Ohtani, Sasaki, Yamamoto triple auto does?
Depends on what brand it is, because that could be nuclear.
I mean, I don't know, like tier 1, like a nice triple on card.
Definitive or tier 1, yeah. It's going to be like $5 to $10,000. The first one to sell.
And then they throw Ichiro on there too.
Well, the thing is too, is like they're all Dodgers. So like imagine that random and you lose it. So brutal.
Oh, man.
I know. It's crazy. Moving on, though. And there's actually a lot to talk about this week because we have Dallas. And then another card show happening in Texas. Oh, that's the wrong one. That is about Bobby Witt joining Instagram. Hello. I wanted to show... Where is he? The third Coast card show that Zion is hosting. PGH Cards. God, everyone's Instagram name is stupid. Yeah, Zion's hosting a show in a couple of months in Memorial Day weekend in Galveston, Texas. And I'm sponsoring it. Speedy Card Lister is sponsoring the show. Zion and I had this conversation a couple days ago. I'm consulting with him on the show. I think there's a lot of potential here. And it should be really fun. And I'm excited to kind of see what he does to bring a new flair to the show. And it's about 350 tables as of right now that I know of. He's reaching out to dealers privately to try to get like a starting list. And, it's just something a little bit different. And I'm excited to kind of like feel out a new environment. I've never been to Galveston. Like from what I heard, it's like a beach town type thing. Heard it's like, okay, pretty fun. Like, why not? It could be something new.
This is a random question, but what is Third Coast card? Like, what is Third Coast?
So I asked him the same exact question too, because Galveston is on the Gulf of Mexico. So I guess that's what
America, Dave.
Trump has not officially done that yet. I don't think we've annexed Canada or Greenland either. So I'm not sure. But I have not looked at my phone in the last hour, so it's very possible Trump is doing all the things he said he was going to do. Also, Mexico is now number 52 as well, or 53, whatever.
So what were you saying?
I don't remember. Third Coast is Gulf of Mexico, and I guess that's what they call the Third Coast, because theoretically there's like cruise ships to go out of there, and it's a beach. I don't know, like the Third Coast. Listen,
really good representation we have here for this card show.
Listen, man, once I know more about it, you'll be the first to know as well. Zion's setting up a website. I'm helping once again with consulting, as I mentioned. Dude, this is 2 shows that I'm like handily working with, the national and this. Like, I'm actually building a decent little resume of like consulting with these card shows. I don't want to do the work, but I just want to help them consult with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it ever hurts to have people chiming in on things to like change or do that other shows aren't doing or that other shows have done. So
I know it's going to be an interesting time. Like, thinking back now to the past Dallas show, which is a great segue into the next part of the conversation. Dallas this past time was actually really fucking good. Like, it was one of the better shows post the COVID boom. It was incredibly busy. There were good deals. There were good walk-ups. Quality of people where it was top notch. Like, it was very well organized for once. Just actual like A- A across the board with everything. The issue we keep running into though is people keep getting robbed. No, 2 separate people got robbed. One is our friend who was going to be on this podcast. His car got broken into. And the other one, someone stole his fucking Zion case at like 3 a.m. on Saturday. What the fuck is going on here?
Now, I don't know if you know the details, but why were his cards in his car?
I don't know. It's unfortunately very similar. It appears to what happened to Trent, where Trent, Granite State, and Matt. I don't remember Matt's Instagram name. Matt Sports Cards, maybe. I don't.
I think it's literally just Matt Sports Cards. Yeah.
Everyone's Instagram name is unfortunately very similar, so forgive me. What happened with them was, and I believe this is the exact detail, so that could be a little wrong. They left the show. They put their cards and their bags in their car, and they went to go get food. And when they came back, the car was broken into. I don't know what happened with this person in Dallas. I don't know if they left the show, went to get food, and someone tailed them, or someone heard them talking, kind of like scoped him out. That's the unfortunate thing, and I've said this before on this podcast multiple times. Like, it is very easy, unfortunately, to find a mark in this industry. You can steal, unfortunately, very quickly from someone, and it seems to continue to be a trend as people have either more money or let their guard down or whatever else. Like, it goes back to the conversations I would have where like people like flexing an expensive card in a public location. All right, yeah, dude, cool. You made a picture for the gram. If I have a knife, you're giving up the card. It doesn't matter. You could say you're the biggest hobby influencer alive, but you could also be the biggest hobby influencer that's dead if I have a knife or a gun.
I think that's what a lot of people like that we're friends with do a really good job of, is like not doing that. I think because we all kind of help each other because we're not stupid.
I want to look as poor as I possibly can the second I leave the show. People don't need to know the fuck I have. They don't need to know what kind of money I have or cards or anything. I want to look poor. Like, I want to just blend right in. I will wear black t-shirts and like jeans or sweatpants to every show I ever go to because it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't need to impress men, and I especially don't need to get robbed by men. So, like, I will always, as soon as I possibly can, whenever I leave a card show, I want to be in my room, dropping my shit off as soon as I possibly can, and then move on. If I need to bring a change of clothes to go out somewhere nice, okay. I'd rather do that than have a $30,000 insurance claim or, a knife wound.
Yeah, I think the one thing I need to do is what actually Mikey just did. I need to air tag my case. I've like lacked to do that for like 4 years. I don't know why I keep.
Kai's a target.
Yeah, no, well, it's the end for me.
Yeah, no. Listen, you had a good run. You had a run. It wasn't good.
I ran for a little bit. Like,
yeah. It's unfortunate too. Like, it's really bad that that's how my brain kind of thinks about things, but unfortunately, it just seems to keep happening. There's no excuse whatsoever for someone to get. Someone breaking into your car is a bad thing, obviously. Like, I understand that. But how does someone lose their Zion case where someone physically just grabs it at 3 a.m. in the morning from you or in a location at a show? How does that happen?
That was a wild video. Yeah.
I don't remember.
This is like, why are you like out at 3 a.m.?
There's a lot of questions. I don't remember the person's name. I don't know if we're friends. I'm sorry. Like,
go to sleep.
Like, I don't logically get it. But if it's 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and you're already drinking whatever, shouldn't that part of your brain be like, wait a second here? I don't have to drive, thankfully, hopefully, but I should go put my items away because I clearly am too fucked up to actually like pay attention to my surroundings. Shouldn't that like at some point in time, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drinks in, like that you're actually paying attention to like what's going on around you, or is it just like is it just me where I don't trust people?
No, I mean you're right. I mean, sort of on topic too. I don't know why this came to my head, but I think I'm gonna invest in one of the rolling cases you guys have.
The Goliath case?
Yeah, I think I'm finally going to make the switch.
Dude, I seriously recommend it. So, if you can talk for a second, I'll see if I can find one online.
Yeah, I mean, I just think for me, as you accumulate more stuff, I mean, just carrying that, whether it's in a smaller Zion case, whether it's in a backpack, or even just carrying it all day. I've done that the last like 6 nationals, and it's just brutal. And I mean, if I'm going to be going to more shows and stuff, it's perfect carry on. Like, I just don't see why the $200 or $300 isn't worth it, honestly, at this point.
So the one I have is the Goliath slab case. Now there's Pelican cases, there's other brands. This one's sold out at $300, which is crazy. Like, I really do love this case. Mine has been in my possession for about 3 to 5 years at this point. I bought it during COVID. I don't remember if it was before COVID, after COVID, during COVID. By the time I was traveling to Dallas for car shows consistently, I owned this case, and mine is phenomenal. Yeah, we were giving you shit as well. We were like, man, Kai should be here. Like, why is Kai not here? Like, you should be set up. We were teasing you.
Yeah, I figured.
You really should make an effort to be in Dallas in the future. I will give you space. We'll make it work. And I think if you want to take cards, quote unquote, a little more seriously, this is the first step both for you and anyone who's listening. Get a better case. A travel case is fine, like a little backpack one, or like the little like rinky dink, like $20 one, $50 one is fine. You start to level up both your collection and your buying ability when you have a case like this. Or you have multiple, because that shit happens. There are people who bring 2 or 3 to shows. And it's kind of wild. And those are the repackers who are buying for bulk and everything else. And I get it, but like, start with one and kind of maximize that one.
Yeah, no, I think I'm definitely 100% going to at least one of the next 2 Dallases. But yeah, I definitely want to. It's not that hard of a show to travel for me. I just didn't book it in time this time.
Yeah, I just booked my hotel room for the March show just because they put it on the website. And frankly, also, I was going to book my my flight, and I got locked on my United account, so I have to go fix that after. The good thing is, though, at least the room is done, which is way more important. Like, flights, it is what it is. But I'm buying my stuff way ahead of time now. And now that I own 3 tables on the front wall, I actually fully control who is there. So for this past show, it was Jacob, North Shore, and Zion, hilariously. But Zion didn't set up. I ended up giving his table away with his permission, obviously, to Liam and Josh and Austin. So that's, oh God, what's everyone's Instagram name? Josh is JS Sports Cards. Liam is Lely Autographs, who's been on this podcast. And Austin is AM Sports Cards. They're all working together now, which is great. And like, they're really just fun guys. Like, we were drinking in like my room after one of the nights of the show. We were just bullshitting. It was just like a fun time. And they were able to set up with me basically for like $100 that they gave to Zion because he just did not need the space. So they had 3 showcases. They have his
own table too.
Kai, welcome to me questioning Zion. Don't do it, because you ask him questions and he's just like, I'll figure it out. I'm like, all right, you paid. I don't care. Just don't leave it completely empty.
Yeah. So. No, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna, at least the March one, if not both, I would like to go to. I mean, the main thing for me is when I can or can't go to a show is there's very limited flights from where I live. I would have to drive to Orlando to have more selection, but Dallas is one of the few places that actually does fly like direct to where my airport is.
Where is it like a regional airport, or is it's like
the Tallahassee airport? It's just a really small airport.
Got it. Okay. So, I mean, I'll give you, if you want to come to the March or May show, I will sell you the showcase that I give to like whoever else, Tony, Mikey in the past, whoever else. I'll give it to you for cost. I'd rather have you at the show than not.
Yeah, I'm gonna like 99% be at the March one, if not both. So
just I would rather make sure that like my friends can be there, because that's the entire point of why I bought the tables. I want my friends there. So keep me posted on that. Like, actually,
yeah,
and I'll sell you the spot. I don't really mind that.
Works for me. I'm gonna book it in the next few days. Hopefully, I just need to check flights.
Book that. And while you're talking about that, this is an insane video. So this was sent to us in the group chat. I don't want to play it with sound, but it might have to.
I mean, you honestly don't really need to. It's kind of self-explanatory.
Well, I'm just gonna. Okay, I can play it without the sound. So this came, unfortunately, from Players Choice Sports. I don't know where the shop is located. A fucking truck ran through their door and destroyed.
Did you see what people were saying, though? It's like the 4th time it's happened to him.
Yes, according to one of our friends, this is the 4th time.
And like a different place every time, too, I think.
This store has been robbed 4 times. I don't know if it's the 4th time with a truck. I don't know what the hell is going on. It's not funny. I'm laughing out of like nervousness. it's actually incredibly sad this keeps happening to this guy because no one deserves this. Where is the shop located? Is it gonna load for me? Nope, it's just being Instagram is being stupid. All right, it's Players Choice Sports.
You could just click the words now.
Oh, it's where the fuck is this shop located? California?
Wouldn't be surprised.
I would not be surprised either. I'm legitimately just
Place
not sure.
Drive through a building. Surprise on fire.
Where are you located, my guy?
He doesn't want us to know, so we don't drive through it.
British Columbia? He's Canadian?
That's even worse.
Yeah, wait, what? I guess he's Canadian. Which is whatever. Like, what the fuck?
Dude got robbed 3 times in America and thought he was safe in Canada, but that's just it didn't work like that. I guess
Every time he kept moving states.
We're laughing out of pure this like.
You made a funny joke. How dare I?
No, I'm just saying, like, we're not like laughing, but it's just like crazy.
I'm laughing at the absurdity of it because this is just really that sucks, man.
Honestly, I think if you get robbed 4 times, it might just be
go to the shop.
Yeah, it might just be time to be done.
You go on, you just become a whatnot breaker online.
Yeah, you just gotta wrap it up on it. Like, no offense, but like, I don't know.
No, I agree with you. It's just like that's just tragic. Anything else on Instagram I wanted to talk through? Talk about Third Coast.
Bobby Witt.
Oh yeah, Bobby Witt has an Instagram for cards, which is cool. I followed it. I don't remember what it is, but like he gained like 10,000 followers overnight, so that's kind of cool. There's Roki, Dallas Card Show we talked through. I thought this was a very interesting title. Who the fuck wrote this? So Sotheby's, which is premier auction house in general, not just sports cards.
Oh, I get it. It's Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, I know why they titled it like this, but like, who approved this? Sotheby's is doing an auction for the most complete Jewish baseball card collection in the world, and I don't know why you would title it like that.
Is it solely Sandy Koufax cards, or why?
There's not many Jewish players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I legitimately cannot think of who
players most represented in the collection are Koufax and Hank Greenberg, as well as Jewish stars such as whatever that says. I can't read.
Norm and Larry Sherry, Ron Blumberg.
I wonder.
Complimentary players like Ian Kinsler and Ryan Braun.
Dave, what religion do you think the collector was?
The collector was obviously Jewish. Let's be real.
I wasn't sure. I don't know.
I would bet 99% of my money that the collector was probably Jewish.
Joke's on you. It was me.
Yes, Patricelli, the most Jewish name I can think of. I mean, they're talking about Jewish fans. Yeah, I'm right. I'm definitely right. Nothing.
No,
listen,
I mean,
man,
like the premise of the article is like fine. I just don't understand the title.
I don't understand the title either. And also, once again, like there's 2 Hall of Fame Jewish players, I guess, in baseball: Sandy Koufax and Greenberg. And then you're talking, you're really pulling with Ian Kinsler and Ryan Braun, a cheater, and Ian Kinsler is very
Jewish, honestly.
Ryan Braun is Jewish, that I knew. Kinsler, I had no idea. But like,
yeah,
Kinsler is a fine MLB player. Don't get me wrong, but like, he's currently on the Hall of Fame ballot.
I feel like that's such a weird, like, I think it's just such a weird, like, way to collect. Like, you're just buying Jewish, but like, it's just so strange.
Yeah, it is. And like, once again, Kinsler was a good player.
I get it, but it's just like really weird.
All right, what do you think the most expensive Ian Kinsler card to ever sell was? I'm gonna say under $500 of just him.
I'm gonna say probably around 1,000 to 1,500. I'm
gonna say of just him because there could easily be like.
Don't quote me if I'm wrong here, but I believe Ian Kinsler is the one with that super rare rookie card error.
That is Alex Gordon.
I was close. Is he Jewish? He might be.
Alex Gordon, I don't believe is Jewish. The most expensive Ian Kinsler card ever is $800, and then $500. So you know what? Honestly, I'm wrong, but I'm not as wrong as I thought I would be. One sale over $800 ever.
And none of these have really sold recently either. So I mean, if there's a Grail Ian Kinsler, it could do pretty well, honestly. I feel like a lot of that stuff is like doing so well these days. If you have like a gold chrome auto 10 of like one of these like 2010 stars, like they never pop up.
There's no way this got paid for, right? $450 for this.
I mean, you never know. Stuff like that, just it's bidding war between two people. You never know. I mean, like I said, this rare, like cool stuff of these stars that we had, like watching baseball when we grew up, is like doing so well right now. Because that's the stuff I go after for my collection. It's just like I get outbid every time.
Yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Maybe there is a couple $1,000 like Ian Kinsler cards in there. Maybe it's a Superfractor Auto PSA 10 or a red, or just other stuff like this that just doesn't come up. Braun sold decently well, but
I did bought a Ryan Braun card, ironically.
I like Brian Braun, but then he was a dirty cheater, so I stopped caring about him.
He was MVP or second in MVP one year, right?
He was MVP, and then that was the year he cheated. So his Superfractor Chrome did $7,600, and then 65, 31. So Braun
that's crazy. He did 6,500 in 07. That's a lot back then.
Ryan Braun was really good, dude.
But he wasn't even in the MLB yet, was he?
He might have just debuted. He came up as a third baseman, made a bunch of errors. They moved him to left field. Like,
wow, I did not know he had 47 WAR.
Braun was really up till 2016, or okay, let me rephrase how I want to say this. If Braun missed 2013 with injury, he wasn't PED suspended, he wasn't a dirty cheater. Like 23 to 28 is as clear cut of a Hall of Famer peak to start your career as you could ever have for most players. An MVP, follow up, second place, a third place, Rookie of the Year. Like, this is incredible. 2013, whatever, and then his career kind of just died off.
I mean, the next couple of years are actually pretty good. 15, 16.
He just if he ages better and he doesn't cheat, you're having a different conversation, but he just did not do enough in his career. But Ryan Braun was really, really good.
I mean, dude, look at 19 at 35 years old and 850 OPS. That's not bad. 140 games.
Hall of Fame talent, piece of shit person. And I guarantee you right now, you can buy Ryan Braun patch auto for $40.
Yeah, I bought a pretty cool card, actually. I don't know if it might be on there if you just do Ryan Braun auto most recent.
Let's say
as a triple auto.
Strata to 75, $80. One of one white whale, $150.
I mean, there's people like him, Tulowitzki, all the McCutcheon. Like, they just don't sell. But they were
but guys. Like once again, and like I say this a lot, like it's going to happen to this next generation too. It's gonna happen. Like Dynasty Patch Auto 128. That's not a small amount of money, but it's kind of a small amount of money. 227. Okay, fine, a little bit better. 125. Game Worn Logo Patch Auto. Disgusting. It's a sticker, but whatever. Like $9, $43 for definitive, 62 for the Sterling. It's going to fucking happen to the next crop of players. Volpe, De La Cruz, probably Gunner, unfortunately.
I mean, the funny part is, like, are any of them as good as Ryan Braun was?
It remains to be seen. Yeah. Ryan Braun, once again, as we just showed you, like from 23 to 28, was a top 5 to 10 player in baseball, 33 WAR, averaging 34 home runs and 107 RBIs, 147 OPS plus, sucked as a defender. No one gives a shit. That is a beginning of a Hall of Fame career. And no one cares because he cheated. Like, it is what it is there, but like
Prince Fielder, like,
well, Prince Fielder is unfortunately another one of those cases where injuries, ended his career. Prince Fielder, power hitting first baseman, who I don't think he has he's nowhere near the same amount of WAR, 24 WAR. But once again, from basically 21 to 29 when he was healthy was still, hang on, oops, hit the wrong button, was still a phenomenal player. And he averaged 35 home runs, 108 RBIs, 142 OPS plus. Yeah, his WAR is low because he was an offensive only first baseman, but like 390 OPS, 528 slugging, 286 batting average. Didn't strike out a ton over 7 years. What? That's like 100.
It's crazy that
100-ish.
2015 season he had, and then he retired a year later. Like, look at that 2015 year.
I know. The issue was he retired because his neck basically
I
gave
forgot about that.
There's a degenerative neck issue, I believe, and he just it wasn't safe for him to play baseball anymore. Prince Fielder was awesome, and then I think about like just random guys who could slug, like Richie Sexton or who's another like random Carlos Delgado or guys like that. Troy Tulowitzki's another good example, like you brought up before. Like they will never ever get card love. Or you look at someone now who's beginning to get a little bit of card love, but still not equal to who it is, like Felix Hernandez. I fucking love King Felix, and he sells for basically nothing. Or Tim Lincecum.
Yeah.
But we know this. That actually is a perfect conversation for this next thing because we're talking about hype outside production. And Jaden Daniels base prism cards are $1,000. We will never learn. We'll never learn. This is bad. This is so bad.
Realistically, this isn't gonna last. Like everyone knows that, but it's just crazy it got to this point.
It's really funny, the power of FOMO.
Yeah.
Like to spend $1,000 on this card now, you have to understand that you are going to lose money. It doesn't matter. Like, could it theoretically go up to $1,100, $1,200? Sure. You are most likely going to be the one holding the bag, though. When or if they lose, it goes down to $700, $600. Then more get graded. Because remember, it's not a silver. It's not numbered. It's the fucking base one. I understand the PSA is a little bit harder on them this year, and they're not as condition sensitive, and they're a little more condition sensitive given, corner issues or surface. I know there was like a problem with Prism this year. The point is, these are going to have a very high pop report because everyone's going to be grading them. What do you think is going to happen? Like, we're going to be sitting here in a year and this is down 80%. It doesn't matter how it plays.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think it's a $200 card eventually. I mean,
who got a lot of hype in the rookie year? Stroud?
I mean, who didn't? Like, I would say Stroud's a good example. I think they probably were around $100, $125. Peak probably 250, 300.
Let's see if I can find one. Base PSA 10. All time down 92%. Started at $650 at $48 now. Literally from day one, it just fucking basically went down and down and down. Now, what's the pop here? 7,600. Do I think there's going to be 7,600 Jaden Daniels PSA 10 prisms? No. But it doesn't actually matter because guess what? It's going to go down. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's what we expect at this point. I mean, it'll be interesting to see with a little bit harder to get 10s this year, like how fast they drop. I mean, they're going to drop regardless, just how fast, I would say.
I know. Listen, Silver's 76% down in a year. And Stroud, I still like as a player. Guess what happened? He had a sophomore slump. It happens to most QBs. Like, who really had a strong second year building on their first year? The only one I can think of recently was T-Law. Because guess what? Guess how bad his rookie year was?
Yeah, maybe Josh Allen, but...
Josh Allen, has trended up since the beginning. But Josh Allen also completed 50% of his passes.
Yeah, there's not many.
As a rookie. Like, the NFL is a very difficult league, and playing quarterback is obviously an incredibly hard position, and you're going to struggle. Stroud was a rookie who was an MVP candidate for the first 9 weeks of the year. He threw 4 picks, I believe, as a rookie, and then he threw 11 this year. Like, yeah, he still took a step back, but guess what? Stroud is probably right now the 15th best QB in the NFL. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower.
Yeah, I mean, I would think he's probably around 15. If you're doing like a redraft, he's obviously higher than that, but like talent-wise, like right now he's probably about 15.
Yeah, and like that's fine. He took a step back, but guess what? His team still won. They won a playoff game. You build on a 23, 24-year-old QB who probably will come back next year and throw for 25 to 30 touchdowns, despite the fact that Stephon Diggs just got hurt and is a little bit older. Tank Dell's going to be out next year. Like, they're probably going to add more weapons around him because they're going to have to, because you have to believe that this is their guy, and he's on the league not a league minimum. He's on a very cheap contract because he's a young QB. And before you pay him $55 million a year, you go all in and figure it out later.
I mean, next year's going to be the last year probably before they extend him. They'll probably extend him going into his 4th season. So
yeah, or you tag him and then you do 4 to 5 years of this and you play the same game, and you have that conversation. I mean, Brock Purdy is going to get a bag this year, and Brock Purdy, I don't even believe, had that impressive stats.
No, I don't think he was very good this year.
20 and 12, basically the same thing. 65% completion percentage, 300 yards, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks versus 63, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks. Yeah, about the same. They played at about the same level passing wise. I don't know rushing wise. I can quickly see. Stroud had. Where's Stroud's rushing yards? It doesn't matter. But like Brock Purdy's about to get a bag. Purdy finished what, 3rd in MVP last year? He was 4th.
I mean, I think Purdy's probably the most similar thing we saw to what's happening with Jaden Cards, right? I mean, recently at least, I don't know.
How bad are those right now? Let's go take a look. I'm gonna say Brock Purdy's probably down.
Yeah, I actually don't think Purdy's a bad buy right now. I haven't bought any personally, but
I'm gonna say Purdy's probably down 70%.
He's probably down pretty similarly to Stroud, I would think.
I remember people fucking freaking out trying to get NTRPs of Purdy. So base for reference is down 67% in a year.
Yeah, you're about right, 70%.
And then can I find a silver? Just do this. There's so many fucking parallels. There's a silver. Silvers are down 45% in a year, but they also really tanked in December. Yeah, they really tanked in December. Actually, they were at like $700 going into the year, $800, and they're down 50% and down 40% in 6 months. Like, what do you think is going to happen? It happens every single time.
Yeah.
And then, like, once again, we know how this conversation goes. You know who I'm going to buy this year, Kai? T-Law. I'm going to buy Justin Fields. I'm going to buy Stroud. I might buy Purdy. I'm going to wait until June or July right before the National. I'm going to sell them.
And I'm buying Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Cosby tore his Achilles. That's hilarious to me. And they did it again. It's even funnier the second time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, once again, like, I just don't get it. I don't know how people have not learned the lesson yet.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, there's nothing to get. Like, it doesn't make sense. So, I mean, it's like stupid, obviously.
Like, obviously you want to sell as greedy as you possibly can, which is right at the start of the year. But if you sell here or here, it's a lot better than selling here.
Yeah.
And it doesn't unfortunately matter. Do you think Mahomes is down in a year from his Silver Prism 10s? Before I check, I'm going to say they're about the same.
Probably about the same, yeah. Also, I have to go in a few minutes.
All right, well, I'll wrap this up then quickly. I'm just going to be my crack.
I think they're probably about the same if I had to guess.
I'm going to say they're either slightly up or about the same. They are up actually 46%. Okay, so guess what? I'm wrong. How about 2 years? Wow. Holy shit, they're actually up. 6 months? Yep. Mahomes is actually up. But guess what? There was still a peak. And you still are selling pretty good, but
It's
been
wild
better.
too, 'cause that was the year that there's no base cards. Like the silvers are the base cards. Yeah.
How about Jalen Hurts? You won one.
Hurts is definitely down.
Double or nothing.
Hurts is probably down like 50%.
All you have to be is the greatest QB in the NFL right now, and your cards will go up. Hurts is up 5% in a year,
Oh, wow.
otherwise known as basically being down because of
That's
inflation.
surprised.
Literally, like 5% up is nothing. In 2 years, that's all time. In 2 years, down 35%. In order to be up, quote unquote, you need to be like 6, 7, 8, 9% up. 5, 6, basically even with inflation. Does not matter. So,
Yeah.
out of 10, quickly, down 2 years, 57%, 1 year, down 10%. So, unless you're Mahomes, I guess, fuck you. Or Josh Allen. Josh Allen's up. You know that. Well, Michael Penix going to be down.
I just like him. He's good.
Well, I don't disagree. I would like to grab a couple, but I'm probably
going to buy the NT Shield together.
Well, I'm going to wait a year to buy them. This time next year, you and I'll be having a conversation about Penix. I'll be buying them.
But we're not going to be able to buy him if you want MVP.
Okay, Kai, go play in the snow. I know it's snowing in Florida, so like literally hell is frozen over. If Michael Penix wins MVP, hell is frozen over, and you have a different thing to worry about.
I'm clipping that.
Okay, can't wait. Listen, if Penix wins MVP, you deserve to clip that.
Well, I am going to go play in the snow now.
All right, go play in the snow. Listen, you said you never saw snow 2 weeks ago, and then the universe said, you know what? Let's go show to him.
Let's kill him.
Yeah, well, you said it yourself. There was what? A car crash, a fight,
Dude.
Looting already.
Looting.
Listen, it's just Florida things.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for watching, listening. Next week we'll try and get a guest on. I can't help that they got robbed. Like that's not. I didn't allegedly do it.
Wow, way to give away who it was.
I said it before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Listen, if you saw me in a black mask at 3 a.m. on Saturday, I'm sorry. On that note, we'll see you then. Bye.